Have you ever wondered how to build a creative agency from nothing and hit $100,000 months in your first year? So I'm about to show you the exact steps that I would personally take if I had to start one from zero today. Most new agencies waste months and even years on the wrong things, but I don't want you to. I've worked with hundreds of founders who have used these strategies to land clients and even done so without websites. And you don't need to have a big budget, a big team, or any special connections to make this work. Instead of just a talking theory, I'd like to actually walk you through each move so that you can use it right now, so that you know what works and what you ultimately need to skip. So the first step you are familiar with, and it is vitally important. You do need to choose your niche and service. And so it's incredibly vital that you understand exactly who it is that you're working with and what is the connection that you ultimately have to them. And what exactly is it that you're doing? What is it that you do? What is it that you don't do? And frankly, I think it's vital that we understand what lane we belong in. Developing that core offering, why it is ROI focused for the client, how exactly that service is going to work best to serve them, and how exactly does it serve that specific niche and the challenge that they're facing, and know that there's a strong demand within that client base. It is vital and really truly foundational. And I'm starting here because so many agencies get this wrong. This is one of the most important foundational items and one of the most costly things that I see agencies get wrong. And frankly, if you want to go a little bit slower here and actually have some conversations, and I've helped and stepped agencies through going in a direction where they were not entirely sure of the pain points and the buying making criteria that that specific niche would have, going through interviews, already having the expertise within the industry, but not knowing exactly how to sell it and how exactly to craft the package so that it fit really well for them, just going through and having conversations. And frankly, those conversations led to their first 4 or 5 clients within that given niche. And so crafting that standout offer, making it irresistible to them, is very important. And so, as I mentioned, you can take this in multiple different steps. You need to put it out to market to see exactly how many people are interested in it. But one of the most easy and beneficial ways to do so is, hey, you have a couple of people that you know in the industry, or you're just going to reach out to them and say, hey, I'm working on something that I wanted to pick your brain on and just get a little bit of insight from where you currently are and what you think about it. And putting that in front of them, talking to them about what it is that you're considering putting together, asking them around why they would buy it, why they wouldn't, kind of what's going on, a little bit about your background and what it is that you're thinking, and let them tear it apart. In fact, you want them to tear it apart. And that information that they give you, you go back, you tinker with what it is that you've got together, those 3 or 4 or 5 people that you interview, and then you readjust the positioning, even the package that you're putting together that still allows for you to stay within your lane, but makes that offer irresistible, makes it truly client-centric, because now you're taking all the pain points and you're doing the problem and solution directly in tandem for them. So they really truly understand the value that it's going to provide. And then frankly, one of the most useful ways to put it back into market is to go to those same people and say, hey, I tweaked with what I'm putting together and wanted to get your eyes on it, and represent it to them. And then even at the end, asking them, would you have any interest? So now we want to go ahead and set up the fast lane, really, and learn quickly. So the thing that I want you to be thinking about is, how do you go about setting up an agency truly in a day without investing a whole lot of time or money? And the reality is that you need to just get out there. You need to start doing it. And so there's so much time, and I personally have fallen victim to this because I'm a planner, really. And I like to think through nuance. I like to gather information and think through nuance and then have the considerations. I tend to be a worst case scenario planner. But the thing that I've learned is that I actually have to lean against that when it comes to business, because the reality is that I'm going to learn more by doing than I'm going to learn by thinking. And not saying that the thinking that I do and I put into place is not useful, but you need to start to actually go and start to do the first couple of projects. You're going to learn a whole lot more by doing those projects, and ultimately what's going on, what are the challenges that you have with those clients, what are the things that are going on, and really truly invest your focus into those given projects, allowing for you to be able to truly learn. Not having replaced the different components, but you need to understand what are the things that I need to have from an expertise level with each different component, with each different phase of the project. And here's where the nuances are, here's where things can go wrong, and really truly understanding them. And now that you understand them, it takes you to that next phase that you're going to need to get into. So we need to now start to be able to build a delivery team, because if we're going from 0 to 100K months, we are absolutely going to need a team that is going to be able to service those clients. Some of them will be contractors, some of them will be full-time. And I want to do so, frankly, in that stepped process that allows for me to be able to do so. So the first step is, what are the chunks of the business that I see as the greatest opportunity for me to outsource? What are the components of the business that I'm going to need to keep close to home that are very client-centric oriented pieces of what it is that we are doing from a delivery perspective, allowing for us to, that actually truly curates the relationship that we have with clients. That is a vital core relationship component. And so being able to parse those pieces out, and then understanding the lower level layer there, the administrative layer as well. What are the pieces that I can do administratively that can come off of my plate? So think of yourself as a pie, if you will, and like break down all of these different pieces. So this piece is design work, this piece is creative director work, this piece is this work, this piece is that work, and then start to realize within each one of those different components, which piece can I do externally with contractors, which piece of it do I need to bring in full time, and even potentially we have the bandwidth to do so as well. And understanding how it actually has dynamic for the clients and how it truly serves the client. So you're taking from the learning lessons of the first couple of projects that you've done, and then you're starting to build the team around that allows for you to be able to buy components of your time back. And you're going to start to do that ideally from the cheapest level component forward at that point, right? As you continue to grow, you can continue to buy back more of your time in a given day as you bring on more and more clients. Now, we have the core kind of frame. We've poured the foundation. We have the framing of the house now. Now we need to start to look at truly putting the house together. And that is going to be filling the agency with clients. So what is the quickest means by which to go about client acquisition? Rapid lead generation and outreach. And so one of the quickest beneficial ways to do so is by starting with people that already have direct connection to that client base. And so there's a framework that I suggest that you do called networking for success and tapping your network. So there's people within your network that you have today that you don't know who they currently fall in those circles with, who it is that they meet when they're picking up their kids from school, who it is that they're going to see at a barbecue this weekend. They know other people that you don't know. And those people could potentially be future clients or be a future potential partnership for you. So what you should be doing is having conversations with people in your life, people that you know are going to want to introduce you to people that you even haven't spoken with for a couple of years. And you're going to do something incredibly simple. You're going to just have a conversation. Hey, how's the wife? Hey, how's the husband? Hey, how are your kids? Hey, how's life? How's the job? How's all the things? And when they ask about you naturally, you're going to say something and you're just going to insert something very quickly. I've been working with this type of person, so niche, to do X, Y, and Z thing to solve this particular problem by doing Y, service. And so you're just giving them all the things. You're not going to ask them for anything. You're just giving them all the things that they need to go out there into the world to know, hey, I need to go connect this person with you. Then you're going to be looking at who is it that is going to be working with your ideal client, ideally immediately before they need you, but who's going to be coming across your ideal client on a regular basis. It could be a lawyer, it could be an accountant, it could be a consultant, it could be all sorts of different people. Looking at podcasts of who are the guests on the podcast that are specific to your given niche, or who are the people that are marketing to given publications or mentioned within articles or advertising on those publications or are speaking at trade-oriented conferences or conventions. Those are the people that you want to be connected with because they're coming across your ideal client on a regular basis. And you're going to have a very casual-oriented meeting with them, talking to them a bit about what's going on, what it is that you're doing. You're going to ask about them. You're going to tell them what you're doing. And you're just going to see how things are naturally going to come up. They are doing things from a marketing perspective. There's some potential for collaboration. And I would try my best to introduce them to someone right off the bat. It starts to create meaningful relationship reciprocity and a meaningful connection that is ultimately really helpful. Then here, now that you have the offer, you have the means to get your name out there, you have the direction, you have clarity. Now the thing that's really important is how is it that we are going through the sales conversations and being able to close them into meaningful clients in the best absolute way possible. So there's stages to this. First step is having a clear framework that allows for you to be able to be very outcome oriented. You want to make sure that in conversations, you're speaking anywhere between 20 to 30% of the call, but you're doing more asking of questions than you're doing talking. Because the reality is the more information that you gather, the better of a salesperson that you're going to be, because you can understand the pain point that they currently are. You can validate it better. You can tell them how exactly that's going to have a connection to things, but you want to do this and record every single call and being able to ensure that those calls you're continually learning from. So watch every sales call, see the objections, see the wins, see the losses, see the opportunities, see the failures that we've had to allow for us to create a framework around how it is that we are going to continue to sell here. Being able to continue to grow the business in the most meaningful way, allowing for us to learn from conversations that we are having, being able to become more effective and a better salesperson, allowing for you to be able to close better and better. And there's one thing that I want you to be thinking about here. You want to keep your sales conversion anywhere between 20 to 30%. The referral based, if they're truly within your network and they're coming in very warm oriented, you should be no more than 70%, 80% conversion rate. But most often for people that don't know you at all and they haven't been in your network, you want to be between that 20 to 30%. Being able to cover anywhere between every 3 to every 5 people that you're talking to, you're able to convert into a paying client. And every single time you exceed those metrics, you are going to increase your price point. And ultimately, you're going to want to continue to do that over and over and over again. It allows for you to have more resources, more capacity, more opportunity to be able to invest those dollars in the most appropriate places within your business. And then focus on exactly how it is that you go about reinvesting in strategic ways to allow for you to build true sustainability and growth within your business. Focus on the outcomes that you have for clients, measuring those outcomes so that you're able to take the winning case studies of those key clients, of the big growth that you've ultimately had for them, and being able to use those as the means by which you are going to have the thing that you scream from every mountaintop that brings in your future clients as well. Very vital for you to be able to do so, allowing for you to be able to continue to grow beyond those $100,000 months. So now you can launch and build your agency from scratch. But let's be real, even with a solid plan, everything will grind to a halt if you can't land clients quickly and affordably. So that's why you're going to want to check out this video next, where I break down the #1 lead generation strategy we use to get clients faster and cheaper every single time. It's the proven referral partner method that has helped agencies around the world grow their client base and close deals without wasting a ton of time or money on outreach.